Imagine melding an appreciation for the outdoors, not just with your free time, but with your full-time career. That's the goal and journey of arborist Jeff Grewe.
With a keen eye toward proper pruning and nimble climbing, Jeff discovered success with a chainsaw, but he found inspiration through his camera lens, all right here in western Iowa's Luss Hills.
The Luss Hills it's just a word that doesn't have any meaning, nothing attached to it. It's a beautiful place that we should know about and that we should make an effort to preserve. And if you don't know about it, it may as well not exist, because it doesn't to you. And that's my effort, to wake people up to there's something there to care about.
For Jeff Grewe, the western rim of Iowa has special meaning. It's a natural landscape he visits to find himself and reconnect with nature. A setting he photographs under a full moon with dwindling light. A backdrop he may never have discovered if it wasn't for his first outdoor passion up above. On the opposite side of the Missouri River, you'll often find Jeff here, in the treetops, climbing his way up and slicing his way back down.
And this time, this is a big enough piece. I want it to go this way, so I'm going to notch it and back cut it so that I can have control of the fall. It'll go right where I want it to go.
This is not the Luss Hills, but rather a small river valley enclave known as the Ponca Hills, north of Omaha, Nebraska. It's one of the locations where Jeff has fostered his business, Arbor Aesthetics, a tree pruning, trimming, and removal operation with a careful approach to natural landscape restoration. On an unseasonably cool summer morning, Jeff's team is clearing unwanted trees from a private acreage, opening up a natural landscape from the multi-generational growth of excess vegetation.
A lot of sugar maples, there's some really tall tulip trees. There's some cedars that I'm not familiar with that I've not seen anyplace else around here. So it's, I don't know, it's a real special property. It's sort of like this place and I were meant to come together. It's pretty neat.
Jeff didn't grow up dreaming he would one day trim trees. After high school, he studied everything from computer science to chemistry. But there was something about climbing high above the tree line that caught his attention.
It was this challenge. It was an adventure. Climbing trees is fun. I mean, so you're not bored when you're climbing a tree or swinging around or figuring out how you're going to rig this branch over a house. You're totally involved. It beats sitting at a desk.
Jeff's passion lured the Omaha native to an ecological destination across the Missouri River in Iowa, along the silty ridgeline of Luss soil.
2 years ago, you couldn't see anything other than just a wall of cedars here. There wasn't any grass growing.
Here at Folsom Point Preserve, south of Council Bluffs, volunteers spent more than a decade removing invasive cedar trees from the prairie landscape.
The more that you come to this place, the more that you discover the diversity that's here and the beauty that's here, or the beauty that remains. It's nothing like it used to be. The more evident it becomes, this is something which needs to be saved.
The restoration efforts may have been the draw for Jeff, but he brought something more than his chainsaw.
My best photos are taken at night. For some reason, I can see great dim light. And that ability in this place came together and made for a lot of beautiful photographs.
Jeff's work exudes a dreamlike scene, where prairie grasses blur slightly in the breeze and the moon burns bright as the sun amidst the starry sky.
So most of my photos here have been taken at night, and they're usually 15 to 30 seconds, sometimes 3-minute long. Long exposure, and at night, diffuse light produces sort of a magical world that doesn't really exist, except for through the camera.
And he found a unique spot where light pollution, ironically, illuminated the landscape.
It unfortunately has this Bungie industrial plant across the street. It creates this beautiful light pollution at night. I mean, it's this half-mile stretch of really bright lights, and at night, it's just this gorgeous lighting.
Taking his long exposure efforts to the next level, Jeff used his DSLR for time-lapse imagery throughout the Missouri River Valley, a cascade of waste steam rising from a nearby coal plant, and a time-lapse of thunderstorms racing across the Nebraska plains towards western Iowa hillsides. For Jeff, it's easy to say what came first, the tree climbing before the photography. One career, another creative. Both are passions he hopes can illuminate the Luss Hills for anyone ready to discover the wild places in their own backyard.
Falling in love with trees woke something up inside me. And I began realizing that there was so much more there that, well, it's there, you just don't know it's there. There's a lot here to explore and to discover.